If you're a lineman in charge of keeping the lights on, Grainger understands that you go to great lengths and sometimes heights to ensure the power is always flowing, which is why you can count on Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so you have everything you need to get the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Streamed and Screened, an entertainment podcast about movies and TV from Lee Enterprises. I'm Terry Lipschutz, managing editor of the National Newsroom at Lee, and co-host of the program with Bruce Miller, editor of the Sioux City Journal and a longtime entertainment reporter. And we're back, and Emmy nominations are in.
Yeah, I think it's lazy. Can I just put that out there?
Sure.
I think they were lazy Emmy nominations because there were so many that were given to just a handful of shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing for some of them. I mean, it's ridiculous. The studio got 10 nominations in the acting categories. Really? And all but one in the guest actor category went to this show. And of that, they were all kind of playing themselves. So is that really acting? And should that have been that many?
Right.
Severance, you like Severance.
Love
got
Severance.
Nine acting nominations. White Lotus got 8.
Mm-hmm.
The Bear got 7.
Mm-hmm.
The Last of Us got 5. That doesn't really spread the wealth at all. And I think there are ones that could have fit into those, but I think it boils down to the streaming services, the networks, the cable services deciding what they're going to push.
Right.
And they say, we are going to give a real big launch to Severance.
Yes.
But then it comes at the expense of something else. And there were one, I think Disclaimer was an Apple TV series that didn't do well. It bothers me. It bothers me that happens because I had a lot of favorites that should have been in there. St. Denis Medical, that good comedy on NBC.
Oh yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Squid Games, which won before, really no acting categories, but they did get other ones. Yellow Jackets was shut out.
Mm-hmm.
Black Doves shut out. Colin from Accounts. I love that show.
I know you do. Nothing.
And nothing. And it's like, well, can't they look a little more and find a little something? But I think it boils down to these people saying, well, let's not put any money in that. We'll see how well it does. And then Hacks does well, and it's a good show, and it should win again.
Yep.
But it's curious how some of those things square out, And then you have another thing. Sorry, I'm ranting, but
oh, that's fine.
You have a show like The Bear, which, I've always questioned its authenticity as a comedy.
Right.
But they also have kind of the mixed signal because these are actually nominations for the second season, but they've been showing the third season, and you go, oh, wait a minute here now. It's the third season, and we've been watching the fourth
season, right?
Right. And so then you think, what's the deal with this? Because there were winners last year who I thought were being judged on the basis of the third season.
Right.
And so, who knows?
And The Bear specifically, too, if we're going to talk about the third season, was the most unfunny of all the seasons.
Right.
Like, there wasn't a moment, and I love The Bear. It's one of my favorite shows on TV, but the show is not a funny show. It's not, I think season 1 felt like a black comedy, as you would.
Yeah.
I would label it. It was funny.
It was chaotic.
Yeah.
They didn't know what was going on. Everybody was at each other's throats. There were kind of the sidekicks who were humorous.
Right.
It fit.
Yeah. It wasn't. It slowly evolved out of that, and I don't know what the thinking is, because to be honest with you, I only think that's going to hurt the Bear when it comes to anything. I mean, like
winning.
You're going to tell me that, okay, here are the best comedies. Like, is it a better comedy than Abbott Elementary? Is it better comedy than Hacks? I mean, it's not funnier than Shrinking. I love Shrinking. That's a great show, by the way, but it's not funnier than that. You can't put that up.
What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
Brilliant. And that is definitely comedy. These kind of straddling the fence shows, they maybe need that as a new category. Is maybe a show that maybe is comic, but not.
Who decides like what to enter it in?
Producers.
The producers?
Producers get to say what category they want to go in. And sometimes they do it because it's an easier run.
But if you're the producer of that show, of The Bear, what part of you thinks that you're actually going to do better as a comedy?
Well, I think they figure because dramas will have at least an hour worth of episode, and you're going with half an hour, so you would have more content,
I guess,
in the drama category. But, and maybe they thought initially it was really comic, but now it's taken a turn.
But let's look at that quickly, if you don't mind. Like, all right, so best drama series, right? If you were to put The Bear up against these shows, who does it lose to? Does The Bear lose to Andor?
Andor could be a sneak.
It could
be one of those ones
it's really
that
good.
Say, they have no more episodes.
Right.
This is our shot. If we don't do it now, we can't do it anytime.
Yeah.
So Andor could be one, but it's better than Paradise.
Yeah. I mean, I liked Paradise, but I was kind of shocked that it got nominated. Diplomat.
I
didn't watch that at all. I don't think I did.
I don't think it's better than Last of Us.
Yes.
And White Lotus has had its moment. I think the Pitt would be a problem. I do think that Severance would be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm like, if I'm thinking about this, just thinking of it out loud, like The Bear, it's definitely top 3 drama series.
Yeah.
Maybe top 4, depending on where you put Andor in that. But, The Pitt was really good. Severance is really good. I'm with you that The Last of Us, this was not as good of a season, and I don't see it winning, although who knows?
It used to be if you were a new series, it was like, no, there's no way you're going to win.
Right.
You have to be around for a few years. Now they're tending to give some of those first-timers a shot, like The Bear. The Bear did get a shot its first year and won.
Well, and I think the shelf life, too, of programming has changed a lot, because you can't say, like, well, we're going to let it go a couple seasons and then we're going to reward it, because some of these shows don't last more than 2 or 3 seasons.
And it used to be somebody might have a limited series, because that usually seems to be the easy one to win in.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say, oh, it was so good, we're going to have a second season.
Yep.
And then it suddenly drifts over to the regular series category.
Right.
And I think they've caught on to that. That's why Shogun had to kind of declare itself as a series last year, instead of really being a limited series. Don't get me going. And then individuals, you wonder, okay, where are the ones who are like the stars of the show?
Right.
They're not nominated, but a supporting person is.
Mm-hmm.
What are you supporting? I love the show Somebody Somewhere. Are you familiar with this one?
I love that show.
And it got 1 acting nomination for a supporting character. And
Jeff
he's
Hiller,
good.
Yeah,
he's good. But come on, the show is built around the woman who stars in Bridget Everett.
Right.
And shouldn't she be nominated? I mean, she could easily bump some of those women in that list.
Yeah.
Easily.
I'm glad you brought up that show, because that is, I think, one of the most underrated comedies on TV right now. And I don't know why it's almost like a throwaway show on HBO. It's like, it just kind of came out of nowhere, but it is so good.
Oh yeah, we have that show. Oh yeah. Okay. I guess we do have that show. That's their thinking. And it does have drama, just like The Bear, but it does have more kind of comic moments where you can actually laugh. This last week, I read Jeff Hiller's book, his, what's it called? Actress of a Certain Age. So funny. You must read it. It is so funny. He talks all about his journey and how it's impossible to get a job, basically. And then what it's like to be on this series. And it makes you wish that more people had watched it so that it does have a fourth season and not end at the third season. But but
did they cancel it? Did they?
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
That's sad.
And it's nominated for 2 Emmys.
Okay.
One for writing and one for Jeff.
Wow.
Will it win either of them? Probably not.
No. You know who is on Somebody Somewhere, who's on another show that was nominated, is Iceland. Did you watch the last season? Bridget Everett's, like, I guess romantic interest,
Right.
Iceland. He was in Severance.
Walls.
He was one of the kind of like corporate people in that show.
Does he have the beard?
Yes. Yep.
Well,
yeah, he does the performance review with Mr. Milchick.
Okay. All right.
This review may take up to 8 hours or something, and if it lasts that long, there will be lunch. That kind of stuff. Yeah.
7.5. No, we're not no lunch.
Yep.
No lunch. Yeah. Well, and then you look at CBS. CBS. Okay. They're airing the Emmys,
right?
And they probably will win for Stephen Colbert just because people are going to make a statement for best variety talk show or whatever that category is, and they'll probably win for Kathy Bates because she's nominated for Matlock, and the outpouring of love for her is unbelievable. After that, it's kind of nothingville until you get to reality shows, and it's Survivor and Amazing Race.
Right.
So, is this? Oh, we want this on our network so we can praise all these other series that aren't on our network. That'll be very good.
It's fascinating when you think about it, how network television that we grew up on has become so irrelevant to the Emmys. I mean, it's really, other than kind of like reality TV shows and the talk shows and Saturday Night Live, that is it. Everything, you get that random, Abbott Elementary, but you look at, outstanding dramas, Disney Plus, Netflix, HBO, Hulu. You look at, comedy series, you got Abbott Elementary, and then it's FX, HBO, Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV. Limited series, Netflix, FX, Netflix, HBO. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, even like Peacock, which is like sort of affiliated with NBC. It's still a streaming channel. It's not network TV. It's really, I mean, it's network TV has made itself completely irrelevant because they decided we don't want to spend on acting and scripts and all that. We're just going to go to game shows and whatever.
In the beginning of the cable days, there was the Cable Ace Award.
Yep.
And that was largely because they weren't allowing those shows into the Emmys.
Right.
So they kept them out for a while. Yep. And then they let them in, and HBO kind of ran roughshod over them in all those TV movie and limited series kind of categories. Yeah. And now you can't get a network show in to save your life.
No. But again, you've got to, what's the old saying? You got to spend money to make money, right? And
they're not.
They're not spending money. I mean, that's just, I'm sorry, but they're not producing the programs. They're not spending money on scripts. They're not spending money on talent. And they've changed it. HBO and Netflix and all these networks have changed the every aspect of it is for actors. I mean, you look at how many actors now who have Oscar awards or nominations, and they are willing to do TV shows because they're not these 25 episode type seasons anymore.
They're prestigious.
They're prestigious, and they're putting in money where you like House of the Dragon. I mean, those shows cost more than some movies cost.
Right. So, well, I think there one area they could make a dent is if they go back to the made-for-TV movies, because that's a category, and they're kind of lame this year, if you ask me. Bridget Jones's Diary, Part 97, and Dolly Parton has a Christmas show.
Right.
Are those really quality level movies? But that's where they could come back, and they might be able to steal away some more nominations. But geez, they have series that are good that should be nominated in some of those series categories. Just a cursory look at this list. Who do you think is going to win at this point? Now, at this point, remember now we've got a couple of months here to go. But who do you think is any of the categories?
Any of the categories, I think drama series is going to Severance, especially after this last season. I mean, it was just such a good season. I would be shocked if any other show didn't. Now, could the White Lotus pull it out? Sure. Could Andor pull it out? Sure. I might like Dark Horse. I think the Pitt is a really strong contender there, but I think it's going to be Severance.
Yeah, the Pitt needs to have some kind of a campaign that builds where, I don't know if you have doctors saying this is like when I got into the medical profession, St. Elsewhere was the thing that got me going, or ER made me want to be a doctor. The Pitt makes me want to be a doctor, an even better doctor now. I mean, you could spin it a little bit. But I agree with you. Severance is the one to beat.
Yeah.
And comedy series, I don't know that Hacks can give it up just yet.
Yeah, so a lot of these comedy series I really haven't watched. I never got into Only Murders in the Building. I watched Shrinking. I love it a lot. The Studio, I didn't watch it because it came on right after I canceled Apple TV for my little break from Apple TV. So I will watch it at some point, but I would be shocked if The Bear, I think people just see through it as a comedy. It's not. And everybody loves it. Nobody doesn't like The Bear, but it's not, it doesn't belong.
Hacks won last year, and I think it'll be winning again this year because it was a good, strong season too. Limited, I think it's Adolescence.
Okay. I haven't seen that one yet. The only one here, I didn't get a chance to watch The Penguin yet, and I kind of laughed when Monsters got nominated because I thought that was like, it wasn't terrible, but it's just like, whoa, this is the longest, most unnecessarily long miniseries I've ever seen. It's like this needed to be cut in half by
how many parts?
Right. Yeah, I don't need 18 parts of the Menendez brothers.
Do you remember though that one that was about the baseball player, or was it football player? Football player, and that would have had a shot in this category too. Was it Aaron Hernandez?
It was.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
And then there was that one that had the basketball owner, was it, having an affair?
Oh, right. Yeah. The Donald Sterling.
There you go. Yeah, those could have been in this category.
Yeah, I enjoyed those more.
Yeah,
than the Menendez one. Yeah, and I think there's going to be some love to SNL. They've got a couple of nominations in Variety Special.
Yeah, I think that 50th anniversary thing will be a winner. And I do think that they're in different categories. The musical one can win as well. So I think there's some love there for that. I do think that Stephen Colbert will ride the wave of
I agree
being canceled. And I think they'll say, okay, I'm sorry, John Oliver. I'm sorry, Jon Stewart. I'm sorry, Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sorry to all those guys, but parting gifts are part of our package.
Yep.
So
I agree.
I think that'll be the reality shows. Last year, The Traitors won. I don't know if it still has the clout to get, and RuPaul's always winning. So who knows? But I do think I love The Amazing Race. And if I were voting, I'd be voting for The Amazing Race. So that's my 2 cents there. And I think that Jean Smart is back in as Best Actress in a comedy. I don't think they can pull that away from her. I think Kathy Bates is going to win for Best Drama Series Actress. Let's see. Best Actor in a Drama Series. Oh, that's Noah Wyle. Please. That's the one that the Pitt will get, because I don't think that Adam is that strong in Severance to be beating all these ones that had those great dramatic moments. So I
would agree. And it's such an ensemble type of cast also, Severance.
And I think we're going to see lead actor in a comedy series. Here's where I think it's time that Jeremy Allen White steps aside, because he's won 3, right? And I think this is going to go to Martin Short. I think this is their way. They've been dying to give him something, and he has won for writing, but not performance. And I think this might be his way of winning that, because they didn't even nominate Steve Martin.
Supporting actor in a drama series, is that Walton Goggins?
Yeah, I think he gets it. Even though they've got a lot of other people.
There's a lot of people you could break that up, but I just he was so memed even, and that I think people just love that character.
Supporting actress, I thought a long time ago was going to go to Parker Posey for White Lotus, but they threw a lot of them in that category, and that could water it down. Because if you've got Carrie Coon in there, who I think should have been in the lead actress category, then you don't have the split there. But I think this is one that, I mean, come on, who do you pick? Parker Posey, Natasha Rockwell, Amy Lee Wood, Carrie Coon. This one could go to Catherine Lonaza from the Pitt. So that's a toss up at this point. And then in the limited series things, dominated by adolescents. There's a little kid in there who's incredible. If they don't put his name on the trophy right now, it's a shame, because he steals that show. I think it's episode 3. If you only watch one episode of Adolescence, watch episode 3. He's remarkable, and he does it all without a lot of edits or any kind of shifts. He's very remarkable, and I think he should win.
Okay.
I think it's up in the air at this point, but I don't like the idea that they've narrowed our focus, so that now just watch 3 or 4 shows and then pick among those. I think that's a little weak.
It is a pretty condensed list here. I will say it'll be interesting too on the outstanding guest actress. We've got a few good ones there. Olivia Colman for The Bear. Jamie Lee Curtis for The Bear. I mean, those are...
Jamie Lee, again, wasn't that strong, even though she's already won. I think she won 2 of them, didn't she? She might have 2.
Maybe,
and I don't think she was that strong in the 3rd season. So I think she could be beat. Olivia Colman hasn't won, so here's her opportunity. There was somebody else in that list, and I don't have the list with me. Who else is on? Do you have it there in front of you?
Yeah. It's Cynthia Erivo for Poker Face, Robbie Hoffman for Hacks, Zoe Kravitz for The Studio, and Julianne Nicholson for Hacks.
Cynthia Erivo, because she played like a dozen characters, and when they didn't give the star of the show a nomination, but she gets nominated, she's winning, and they want her to win. She hosts this stuff for them. So that's the Emmys. Were you excited when they came out, or were you like, oh?
Well, I was just thinking to myself, oh, Bruce is on vacation. We can't talk Emmys, but now we're talking Emmys. It was interesting to see the list. I was curious to see what would get in, what would get snubbed. I guess I was maybe just surprised by, like you, the small number of programs ultimately that were nominated.
Landman was one that people talked about with Billy Bob Thornton. Nothing. Your Friends and Neighbors with John Hamm. Nothing.
Yeah.
You could easily pick any of those. And remember the days when it was like Dynasty and Dallas and Knots Landing? Really?
Yeah, it's interesting. Nobody wants this. That didn't get anything, did it? Did they?
They got in. Yeah.
Okay. It's a comedy series. Yep,
and the actor and actress got in.
Oh yeah, Kristen Bell and Anna Brody. Okay, good. I slid over that. No, good to see. That was a sleeper show for me. My wife watched like one or 2 episodes of it, and then she's like, "Oh, I need to stop and watch it with me because
you'll like
even
this.
though I'm not."
Yeah.
Yes, because it's like even though I'm not like 100% Jewish, it's my dad. I'm half.
It's close. It's close.
She could relate to it to some degree with me. So it's like, let's watch it. And it was I loved it. I thought that was such a fun show.
Again, it's a small show. It's like Somebody Somewhere, where you go, that needs its own category too.
Right.
Because I could easily pit those against each other, and I'd say, okay, here's where they were better. Yeah, well, when we come back in September, just before it airs, I'm going to hold you to picking winners. So you might have to do some catch up.
I will do some catch up. I'll see if I can muster that.
All right.
Catch up.
Give this man an Emmy for best drama.
Oh, boy. And on that note, thanks again for listening, and we'll be back again next week with another episode of Streamed and Screened.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.